Hello, everyone. It's been a while on this space. Today, we'll be looking at the chapter 7 of The Five Love Languages of Teenagers by Gary Chapman. I remain myself, Adebayo Abiodun. Before we go into chapter 7, remember we have done we did the introduction, we did the chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, and now we are in chapter 7. We have talked about words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and now the chapter 7 is talking to us about gifts. 5 love languages of teenagers. The number 5 is gifts. Gifts is so easy for so many people, for so many parents, because a lot of us don't have the time to stay with the children, but because we have the money, we buy them the gifts. We say, okay, take this one should be something that can replace quality time, words of affirmation. No, it cannot replace it. Now, Gary Chapman started chapter 7 by giving us a background story of when he went to a military troop camp, and they were having seminars for, I think, marriage seminar for 2 years. That particular morning or afternoon, he went to somewhere in the camp, and he saw a boy called Alex doing his homework, and he sat down with him, started asking Alex questions. He saw a medallion, a St. Christopher medallion on his neck, and asked him, oh, do you know about him? And the boy said, no, I don't really know about him. I think it was some religious person that did some good work, but this medallion was given to me by my father. He said that whenever he's not around, that I should always use it to remember him. Now, what Gary Chapman was trying to bring out from that story was that the religion aspect of it does not make any really some meaning to the child, but because it was given to him by his father, he cherished it. Now, he gave another example, another story of a mother who told her daughter, Amanda, that, Amanda, if you can clean your room, I'm going to buy you a dress. He was trying to differentiate between gifts being one of the 5 love languages of teenagers, and being a reward. You can give gifts as a reward, but it will not serve as one of the 5, one of the love languages of that teenagers, because the child works for it. Gifts as one of the 5 love languages of teenagers should be given without conditions. Remember, these 5 love languages we are talking about, their expression of our love without condition is an unconditional love. Are we saying that you should not give gifts as a reward? No. But if you want to use it to serve the purpose of filling the emotional love tank of your teenager, then it should not come as a reward. Another thing about gifts as a love language is the ceremony behind it. You just give it like that. When you just give gifts like that, it makes your teenager to take it as sense of entitlement, that after all, I deserve it. My parents are supposed to do this for me. But if you are doing it unconditionally, then sometimes when it's well packaged, it will be more appreciated. He gave an example of a teenager that went to the store with the parents, and the parents bought him trainers. He wore it from the store before they got home. It will not make any meaning of it. But if that gift has been packaged and presented to him in the presence of other family members, I'm sure he would have appreciated it more. After all, gift was gotten from the word grace, unmerited gift, undeserved gift. So gift as one of the 5 love languages should be given unconditionally, and we should do it with a little ceremony so that it can fill the emotional love tank of that teenager, and it will not just serve as maybe it's just a normal thing that my parents should do for me. We are looking at in the love language of giving gifts is materialism. Sometimes we'll link giving of gifts to materialism, but we should have it in mind that it is not in the amount that you use to buy that gift. It is the heart behind giving of the gift. In the olden days, there were no such things as giving much gifts as this. They shared ordinary life. People were happy to spend time together. The little they had, they shared, and they appreciated it. That is not to say that we should neglect the old life of the ordinary life that people are. It can just be a meal together or something very simple, so that we don't open out the eyes of our teenagers to materialism. There are some teenagers that when you give them something, they don't even appreciate it. They feel, oh, it should be more expensive. It depends on the upbringing that you give to your child. And there are things to consider in this aspect, especially when you are giving the gift of cash as a gift. You need to do it thoughtfully. You cannot just give a child a big money without a purpose, maybe as a pocket money that does not have any meaning, is not tied to anything. Whatever cash gifts you are giving to a teenager should be tagged to something. There should be a purpose for it, that okay, this is for your lunch, this is for this. You cannot just give them money and let them, and they will be spending anyhow. Also, the type of gift you give to your teenager as a love language must be well thought about. You cannot give your child something that will damage their lives or something that will make them disobedient to you. Now, he was saying that in America, maybe people that are of affluence, they give cars to their teenagers at the age of 16. Some of these teenagers drives recklessly. Some of them, they do a lot of things with the car. I'm not saying that if you have it, you should not give it to them, but you should have taught them the value behind. We should have taught them enough value so that they don't misbehave with it. The one that really comes to mind in Nigeria is giving your child the gift of a phone, maybe by 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever works for everybody should be what they should go by. But what I'm trying to emphasize is, when you are giving that kind of gift, you should sit your teenager down, and there should be a purpose for it. It's not just because it's a trend. It's not just because of peer pressure. Oh, others have it, my daughter should have it, my son should have it. No, it should not be like that. It should be a well thought process whereby you have a discussion with your teenager. So we cannot liken gifts to materialism. You understand? So it depends on the thoughts behind it, the reason why you are giving it to them. Another thing you should consider in giving gifts is the interest of the teenager. You cannot just buy things that only caught your own fancy. When you get home, when you give it to them, they may not appreciate it, they may not like it. I give you an example. Recently I went to, I think, trade fair with my daughter, and there were some lovely kimono tops that I saw. I felt it was something she would really like, but she said she doesn't like them. What if I had been the only one that went there? I would have bought it for her and she wouldn't have won it. So in a way, you that you even bought the gift, you are not happy because the teenager is not wearing it, or the teenager is not using what you bought. So you need to have their interest at heart, or you take them along, or you ask them questions. Yes, you ask them questions before buying that gift. You can ask them, if I'm going to buy you a gift, what kind of gift would you like, what kind of brand, so that it doesn't diminish your own emotional love tank yourself. Because if you buy something for somebody and the person does not appreciate it, or the person is not using it, you yourself, you'll be demoralized and you wouldn't want to buy gifts for them. So to avoid this, so that both both your own emotional love tank and that of the teenager can be full, you need to consider their interest, not just your own interest in buying about when, where, and how to give gifts. There are some gifts that are better done privately. He gave an example of himself and his daughter Shirley. He said there was a time they had a walk. That was not the first time they were having that walk. But that very day, he gave her a gold chain and told her that this is a gold chain that symbolizes your purity and everything. And one day when you get married, you give it to your husband. So he said some years after, the girl lost that gold chain, but the memory stuck with her. the memory of, oh, I had a walk with dad, we sat at a pavement and he gave me that gift. So the ceremony, the packaging, where and how you gave it to the child also matters. And there are some gifts we call counterfeit gifts. I mentioned it earlier that some parents think that they can use gifts to replace their time, words of affirmation, physical time, or acts of service to their children. Teenagers see it as counterfeit. You cannot replace other things that you are supposed to do for your child with gifts. I said gift as a reward is different from gift being a love language. So you cannot use gifts to replace your time and other love. In fact, even if your teenager's primary love language is gift, you must still adopt other love languages to communicate it. Like when you want to give a child a gift, you can give it with a hug, you can give it with words of affirmation, you can give it with other love languages, not just that gift. Not just that gift. So you should not give a counterfeit gift to your child, and don't make giving gifts occasional. For example, now if you sit down, some of us, the only time we give gifts to our children is during their birthdays, during Christmas and all those things. No, it should not be. I have said it that it's not about the cost of the gift. It's not about the gift being expensive or something like that. No. And he interviewed some teenagers. Some teenagers said that, oh, they knew that their parents loved them because everywhere in their room shows the love of their parents. They can see their shoes, their shirts, all those things. While some of them said, oh, I had this with dad, I had this with mom. That means they appreciate that gift as being trying to fill their emotional love tank. And so what are the few things we can do to communicate this or to help us in this gift giving, is in this gift as as a love language to our teenagers? One of them is the ceremony behind it. You may just give, even if it's just a pencil, if you package it well, the child will always have the memory. You can buy some gifts at home when you have the money. You can just buy them and keep. That whenever I want to communicate the gift of love to my children, I give it to them. Sometimes you can prepare a special meal together with your children. It can serve as a gift to them. Sometimes you can also even do this scavenger thing. You can keep gifts somewhere around the house and ask them to look for it with a map. Sometimes when you are not at home, you can keep maybe written words, put it in different places in their rooms. They will love it. Sometimes you can just put a small gift in their package when they are going to school. You can just put it in their bag with some words of affirmation. When they get to school, they will see it. It will be a surprise to them, and it will really feel their love language. So what we are saying is that the primary love language of a teenager, of a child, is there, but it can be better communicated with the support of the other love languages. For example, the gift, the one we are talking about right now is gifts, and we are saying that you can also communicate it through other means. Like if you want to present a gift, you can give a speech, a words of affirmation about it. You can do it with physical touch and all those. This will better help you to communicate that that love language to that child. So this will be the end of chapter 7. The next time you'll be seeing me, we'll be going into other things. We have successfully talked about the 5 love languages of teenagers. Let me do a recap. 1 is words of affirmation. We talked about acts of service, quality time, physical touch, and today we just finished gifts. You can watch the previous reviews to understand better. We see next in chapter 8. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and if you have any question, you can put it in the comment section so that we can look into it together. See you next time. Bye.